Logging in so I can make sure my captions are turned on. Oh, of course it needs a little code. Welcome anyone coming in on TikTok or Twitch. Let me enter in this little fucking code real quick. For anyone that doesn't know, my Twitch has captions. So as annoying as having to log in occasionally is, I know that it's worth it. As anyone can see, it's populating live. So tonight, and let me switch over on Twitch so that folks will actually be able to see me. But tonight is Saturday, which means we gotta go to the spooky space for spooky stuff. Gonna watch some horror shorts. Where did the thing go? This should be showing us the page, but maybe I closed it. Maybe I changed where it is. Oh, I think it's because it's down. Okay. But yes, it's Saturday. So, gotta watch spooky things. Gotta get to see all the spooks. Gotta watch all the spooks. Gotta pour some tea. So, a little change of pace than the other couple for short nights. Since we haven't had very much luck actually finding anything that is spooky from just like your traditional horror short kind of thing. I'll turn TikTok for now. I decided to grab a bunch of horror stories that are animated, so this may be a better or worse path. We'll see. We'll see if it's just a total mistake or if it ends up being fun. But for anyone that hasn't been here before, what we do on Saturdays is watch the spooky stories, or horror shorts, as one calls them, and then rate them out of 5. So I got about 30 of them in this little YouTube list. As always, you're gonna have a better view overall if you go over to the Twitch, but you should be able to see at least most of the screen with how I have it arranged on TikTok as well. So let me fix this so that I can start it up. There's usually a little ad between each, but the way that it goes is I say what it's called. I say usually who it's by. It looks like basically all of these are by the same company, at least almost all of them. It looks like they're just oh, okay, yeah, at least the majority. It looks like they basically have the monopoly on the animated horror short game, much like how whatever that other company was called, the acronym did. WANC Entertainment. So we'll see if it's worth it. But the first one is called Barbecue Restaurant Horror Story Animated. It's sure to be good. Yeah, another thing I was going to say is that there's often ads between each of them, so a little bit of time to rate them never hurt anyone. But like I said, the first one is called Barbecue Restaurant Horror Story Animated, and it's by WANC Entertainment.
There was a famous restaurant in our neighborhood. It was a
Let me
restaurant.
turn up the volume and switch it to this. Ah, much better.
There was a famous restaurant in our neighborhood. It was a restaurant that had amazingly delicious back ribs, and the taste was unrivaled. I was addicted to the taste and visited the restaurant every single day.
We're watching spooky
Then one day,
stories.
the owner of the restaurant said to me,
"Our precious regular customer has arrived. Then we should offer some precious meat. A premium
The
quality
precious meat.
which is really hard to obtain, came in today. It's so delicious
You just know
that
it's
nothing
humans.
compares to it."
the owner patted my back while talking. I was a bit
For sure
offended,
humans.
but I just didn't make a great deal of it, because I thought I became close to him. I said I wanted to try it, so he led me inside, and there was another restaurant inside.
He said this is
There
where
were
we keep the
several
human
people who
meat.
looked like VIPs sitting at the table. After a while, the food came out, and there was a small amount of about 4 pieces of back ribs. Then people immediately picked it up without saying anything and ate like crazy. They even licked the bones like a dog that had been starved for several days.
Because the
And
cannibals.
they had a conversation I couldn't understand.
There's a kid I want to eat these days, but how can I catch him? If I catch him,
A
will you
kid?
put him at a low price? We could, but we'd have to hire a professional hunter to keep him out of trouble.
Then one of them looked at me and said,
Would you like to donate some bones?
would
I
be
knew
really
it. What did
upset.
I say? As soon as you said that, I was like,
He
this is
suddenly
for sure
took
about
off his
cannibals.
shorts and showed me back. They were dense in flesh, as if several back ribs were missing.
Wait,
I screamed in surprise, and they chuckled as they said,
Since you ate one today, you should donate one. Isn't this a world where we help one another?
They were staring at me with creepy eyes, which gave me a bizarre vibe. I was seized
No,
with
man.
fear, left in a hurry, just saying that I've enjoyed my meal. The owner of the restaurant continued to suggest that I sign up for the VIP membership, but I refused. I didn't go to that restaurant for several days, but one day, the taste of the back ribs occurred to me, and I couldn't stand it, so I had to go there. I was eating at the restaurant, but I felt something strange, so I turned around, and behind my back, the restaurant owner was holding a knife to my back. When I asked
Why would you go back there, though?
he said with drowsy eyes,
It's a little
Give me
sus.
just one.
I left the restaurant with goosebumps, and I didn't go to the restaurant since then. Then one day, I saw that the restaurant was closed when I was passing by. So I
Yeah,
asked
okay,
the
you
owner
missed the
next door
beginning.
if something had happened, and he said,
But also,
Someone
what's
brought a
up?
knife to the store a while ago and created a disturbance, and 3 diners were rushed to the emergency room. But what was creepy was that everyone was stabbed like crazy, only in the back.
the culprit was arrested, but reportedly shouted till the end. that
So
he
it was a
asked
barbecue
everyone
restaurant of
to sing
cannibals.
to stab him.
Interesting. This is
Explore Wright
okay.
State University.
This is
Durham,
already
Friday,
better.
July 28th.
It's
Regular
already better than like anything ACM official could have possibly created. So I'm here for this new horror short story genre of spooky story Saturday. What do you think? I know I'll give that like maybe like a 4, just because I have my hopes are high now. Like now that is the first one, not that it actually means that the rest of them are gonna be good, but like I just feel like we're on a high note, so I'm gonna give it. I wasn't like scared by it, you know what I mean? It was more just like a shock. It was a good story though. I think that's really what we're gonna have today. This will be like if this is like a horror short like corn experience, it would be like there's the video corn, which is like what we've been watching, and it's like mostly misogyny and not very good. There's like the erotica corn, and I feel like this is probably more of the erotica corn section. Yeah, I know, right? It was a little bit redundant. That's what I was kind of wondering if that's what this was gonna be, because I didn't, like I said, I look at the first picture. I didn't like look in depth. I don't know what any of the stories are about to say. But yeah, I figured that a lot of them might be created by like children that then get created into animations by this one company, because like, you know, y'all might have said that, or you might not have been here when I said this before, but Wancy Entertainment looks like they create like, again, it's the monopoly, just like how ACM has it on like live action horror shorts, I guess. But yeah, it was pretty good, but it was, yeah, redundant though. The next one is called My Friend's Job. And by another one by Wancy Entertainment. They're all like the exact same like artistic style, which I can't decide if I
Grew
like.
up in an orphanage since
Oh, we gotta start that over. Yeah, wait.
I was 16 years old, and I grew up in an orphanage since I was young. I've lived alone in this world, without a family, when one day I met a guy named Brian at church. He was very kind. He was in his early 20s
Brian looks
and
sus.
lived in a small house, and I got to live with him in his house. However, one day,
We don't
I
like
started
Brian
to
already.
experience terrible things in that house. One day, he came back home,
Brian.
covered with dirt and sweat, and said, "Today I got one done in a while. Let's go."
Oh
do
yeah,
something."
Salad Fingers is it's a millennial
I
classic.
thought he had come back after harsh labor, but when he opened his large bag, it was full of bloody knives, all kinds of tools, and wads of cash.
I see.
When
That's
saw
what I
his
said,
face
Brian,
at
looking
me
suspicious.
proudly, I got goosebumps. When I asked where he got so much money, he replied, "I risked my life to work. It's hard to make money." Then he took off his shirt, and there were bruises all over his body. I couldn't understand what he was doing. He didn't tell me the details. However, he took me to the department store the next day and bought me all kinds of luxury goods. And we ate at
So he
Tom
didn't
Hon's
care.
restaurant.
He's like, whatever, Ryan, you can kill people if I get to benefit from it.
Secretly, I enjoyed it. Then one day, Brian called me and asked me to come and pick him up. So I drove to the address he gave me, and when I arrived, there was an abandoned building.
and a man was tied up inside.
Uh-oh.
Brian was cutting the man's fingernail.
Brian, the fuck?
Alive, he said with an innocent
TikTok, close your
expression,
eyes.
Isaac, in life, sometimes there are people you absolutely have to kill. In that case,
That's
you
not
must
true.
cut their fingers and head off. That way, they won't be identified.
What did I say?
Then he
I said
started
Brian
slicing
is not to be
his
trusted.
hand with a saw.
From the very
I heard the
get-go.
man scream, and suddenly my ears got clogged. My whole body trembled as I watched.
It's called trauma. We didn't get this guy's name, but
Trying not to be noticed by him. The guy who was so kind to me.
Brian's hungry. Oh god, what if every single one of these ends up being a cannibal story? I mean, I saw that meat and I was like, is that human meat? I don't know.
I was in great shock.
Is your hub's name? Oh god.
Police, but I was afraid that without him, I would be left alone in this world again.
That sucks though,
Then
if this is
one day,
real.
I was asleep at dawn. But
There's
I
no
heard
way.
something hit the floor with a thud. I woke up and went to Brian's room. There were 3 men wearing sunglasses.
I know it
Looked
might.
at me, put their fingers
It's on
in their
YouTube, so it
mouths,
can't be so bad.
Shh. And then I saw. What fell to the floor was Brian's head.
Oh
I
shit.
couldn't even scream. I felt paralyzed by fear from head to toe, and I couldn't breathe. There was vinyl spread on the floor, and as they put Brian's body
They all
in
look
the
like
bed,
they create
said,
jazz.
"Good boy, I won't kill you if you keep your mouth shut. But if you tell others what you saw
Kid, you
today,
gotta get out of
your
there.
head will be blown off. We are experts in this kind of work.
We
so
are
it only takes
experts.
3 minutes to get done with one person. You know what I mean? When I asked them why they killed Brian,
They wouldn't just knock someone out and then brag about how good they are at that.
saying
But I don't know, I guess I underestimate the patriarchy sometimes.
$1,000. This job cannot last long anyway.
Are these guys twins?
They also took away the cash Brian had saved, so I was left alone in the world again. Since then, I tried to live on my own, but it wasn't easy. And suddenly, I remembered what Brian had said to me. He always had said to me, "This world is a jungle.
Brian, you got a bug on
If
your
you're
arm.
not careful, you'll become someone's prey. I'd rather be a hunter. But in this world, I was like a very weak deer. I couldn't just sit
A
there.
very weak
So after
deer.
reporting people who killed Brian to the police, I ran off to another city. Later on, the police contacted me, and I was informed that the killers had been arrested. But even after that, I had to live in fear that someone might come and kill me.
Well, sure.
Fortunately, I've been doing well so far, but there still would be someone in this world murdering for money.
Okay. I'm gonna give that one like a 2.
I have struggled with Stubborn Black.
I wasn't a fan of that one. I don't know about y'all. What do you think? I don't think it was told like truly like a kid told it though. So I guess we'll give it give it a 1. I guess I gave it a 2 just because I was like, well, one in solidarity for just general teenage trauma. Like 1 more than it probably deserved though. I respect that one. This one, see, apparently this is just a bunch of be mean to kids. Is the beginning of the theme, at least for the second and third. Why do I feel like are you two twins could easily be morphed into an insult? Oh God. For the name Brian. See, I thought it was Brian with a Y though. That's the Brians you gotta watch for, I guess. I only knew one and he was very nice. So I take that back. We got My Daughter is Strange. Another by Wancy Entertainment. The star of Tonight. Oh, we gotta.
This is the story of my 6-year-old daughter, Riley. She was a good girl.
Bella with
but
an
one
H,
day
oh
she
God.
started acting strangely. One day at dawn, she suddenly looked out the window and started howling.
She's a werewolf.
When I asked why, she said that there was a wolf spirit outside and she was talking with the wolf. Mom, the wolf says that our house is where dead souls gather.
I like that she did like the happy smile with it.
Passed it over, thinking it wouldn't be a big deal. But even after that, the same thing happened again and again. Suddenly, she looked into the air and talked to someone, drew a strange-looking monster on her notebook, and said it was her friend. The monster was a very terrifying creature with 6 eyes and 6 limbs that looked as if 3 humans were combined together.
Oh, that's just
I
Carter.
could not have believed it as a 6-year-old. I tried to scold her, and I tried to talk her out of it, but she never got better. One day, on my way to work, I told her that I would be coming in late because I need to work overtime. Then she said, Mom, I have so many friends at home, so I'm not lonely. I ended up taking her to a psychiatrist, but even the doctor couldn't figure out exactly why she was behaving like this.
That looks
Then
like a
one day
character
she
from
suddenly
Doug.
handed me some bread and asked me to eat it. The moment I picked up the bread and put it in my mouth, I recognized that something red was all over the bread. I asked in surprise, Sweetie, what is this? She said, It's hamster blood. Kevin told me to give it to you.
The
My
fuck?
heart sank, and I looked at the hamster cage in the room and found that the hamster was dead. I was so shocked and angry, so I grabbed her and yelled, Who is Kevin? Why are you
Who
doing
is
this?"
Kevin?
I yelled at the top of my lungs, and she pointed to the wall next to me and said, That's Kevin. His jaw is down to the ground, and his mouth is 5 feet wide. He's looking at you and drooling, and his saliva is like jelly.
You gotta get out of there.
Kevin's mouth is full of dead animals and dead people because he can't digest anything since he has no organs. He says he wants to eat you too. I got goosebumps, grabbed her hand, and ran out of the house right
The
away.
hair gives
Then I
away
got
the
in the car and
transition.
sped like crazy until I got to a
Yeah, she got some little werewolf
rented the
ears.
script for the priest and explained everything without hesitation. Then the priest thought for a moment and said, Your daughter has made friends with sinister spirits. Your
No
daughter
shit.
could hurt, but the people around
You ever
her
heard of
will
Kevin?
be in danger. I was saying my prayers for her. The priest held her and prayed the rosary for a long time. And she mocked the prayer and shouted it at the priest in an unknown language. I was really embarrassed and couldn't believe all this, but there was no other way, so I continued to visit the priest after that. After visiting the church dozens of times,
I'd wear that
I was
hairstyle though.
inspired
I
to
basically have it
imagine
right
it.
now. Like I just need some
Someone
little
stared in
pigtails like on
face,
the
talked
right and the
herself
left.
into making a change.
We're there.
I was so happy, and now my family could live a normal life. I didn't go to the church anymore, and after a few months like that, one day,
Or
I
Jesus
looked
cries
into the
blood
air
because
again and
they didn't go to
shouted,
church.
Mom, the priest is here! I was surprised and asked her, The priest?
Yeah.
Why is he here? Then Riley pointed into the air, and there was nothing she was pointing at, and she said with a bright smile,
Here he is in Kevin's mouth.
Kids are creepy. We don't like that. It wasn't scary though. Like, I feel like it could have been. Again, I've seen too many horror movies with just like creepy children. Yeah, priests are creepy. Yeah, there's just too many things that they do that don't actually get criminalized. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like I wanted that to be more. It was wasted potential, wasn't it? It's like I'll give it like a probably like a 1.5. The story could have been better constructed too. I think it's kind of a lab ball making creepy kid stuff at this point. Like there's just so many of them. Next up we got True Resort Horror Story animated by the same company. The Man in the Resort.
Every summer, my best friend, whom we'll call
3.54.
Maria, and I hung out at this resort. We each had our own hotel room that we shared together. One night, when we were 11 years old, Maria suggested that we go ghost hunting. I didn't have a great feeling about it, so I said, I don't really think we should go. Let's just stay inside and play games. But Maria insisted, saying, Oh, come on, it'll be fun.
You think she's a
I'll
ghost?
play with you every day this summer if you go with me.
I bet she's a
Stupidly,
ghost.
I agreed. And we put our clothes, grabbed flashlights, and all that stuff. We went to the convenience shop in the resort to get a few sodas, and then that's when I saw her. Behind the register stood the most terrifying woman I had ever seen. My face went pale, and then she disappeared. As we were walking out, Maria noticed my pale face and asked, why? I told her everything, expecting her to be concerned, but to my surprise, she seemed happy.
Maria's like, I see
At
ghosts all
that
the time, man.
moment, I thought, what's wrong with this idiot?
What's wrong with this idiot?
Nevertheless, she dragged me to
I mean,
the
they're
lobby
11,
to
I guess, so.
investigate. While I sat in the seat, already traumatized by the incident in the convenience store. As I was getting my phone from my purse, I noticed a red stain on my sundress. I thought it was ketchup from the buffet we had, so I shook it off. A few minutes later, I heard the most blood-curdling scream coming from the elevator. I don't think anyone else heard it since there was no one else around, and the night shift employee was fast asleep. It sounded like it was coming from the elevator hall.
Yeah, I
Curiosity got
guess.
the better of me, and I decided to check it out. The screaming grew louder and louder, causing my eardrums to feel like they were bleeding.
Oh, did you say that because the other
I
girl was like
opened one
way
of the doors
paler
and
even when
found
she
a
said she was
muscular
pale?
man in his 40s,
Because he was.
holding a knife to Maria's throat. In a panic, he grabbed me and whispered, "I have a thing for Japanese girls."
Oh god, it's just the
I'm
horror
actually
stories
Korean,
racism.
But
Please.
that didn't matter. I bit him and kicked his crotch, freeing Maria from his grip. We
There you
quickly
go.
ran back to our room and called the resort security. Thankfully, the man was arrested, but we were left absolutely traumatized. I'm now 13, and I still wonder what would have happened if I hadn't heard Maria or found
This
the
person
right
sounds like they're
elevator.
in their 20s, so I'm assuming they're reading a story for a child. So that wasn't really a horror story. I mean, it was because she also saw a ghost, but really the horror story is just the
idea
society
of having
is awful. Like that's the real horror story. I'd give. I mean, it wasn't scary, like, but we'll give it like a 3 just because survivor tale. You know. What do you all think? We got 3. You giving it a 2? Fair enough. We got a triple. I think I forget how long it is. Yeah, it's like 6, so it's like 2 minutes each, I guess. A 2. Yeah, it wasn't scary, but it is what it is. All right, we got 3 horror stories. Apparently, I don't know if they're gonna show their names beforehand or what, but it's by that same company.
I remember we were riding in a car one day, and I asked my mom the scariest experience she'd ever had. She had been a camp counselor for a small outdoors camp in the summer, which lasted about a week. On a particular hot summer night, my mom was rolling around in her bed unable to sleep because of the humid heat. Her other friend, who I'll call Rachel, was also awake at the time. Around 1:30 a.m., my mom received a notification to not leave the area. Apparently 4 convicts had escaped from a
This
local
always
prison
happens
and
when
were on
people
the
are in
run.
camp.
Rachel was freaking out and hurriedly woke up everyone despite my mom telling her to calm down. After arguing with the campers and the other counselor, she had convinced the group to go to the boys' cabin to see if they were fine. They left out through the back cabin door and snuck behind bushes, making as little noise as possible. Unfortunately, they had to make it across a little clearing to reach the men's cabin.
They both
After
look
checking
jacked.
multiple times, they ran to the boys' cabin and knocked
They're
when
like-
my mother's guy best friend opened up. He raised a questioning look before letting them in after seeing how scared everyone was. The guy laughed after Rachel said she was scared because of the escaped convicts and reassured her. Around 2 hours later, my mom and everyone headed back to their cabin and fell asleep.
What's up, Zoff?
The next day, everyone was a bit freaked out, but was sure nothing had happened to them. Until my mom walked around to see the back of the cabin. It seemed someone
Is there a
had
hook?
scraped the back doors and
Oh.
unsuccessfully tried getting in. She was freaked out by it and went home early. Later, she found out on the news only 3 convicts were captured, and has always thought about it
Yeah.
that night and wondered what would have happened if they stayed in their cabin.
Spooky. What do we get?
Hello,
We
my
got
name is
Fox.
Joe and I'm 10.
We got
from a
Rachel.
small
No,
farm
stop
in
talking,
Nebraska.
Joe.
I have 2 sisters.
All right, what do we think of that first one? I'd give it like a 1. I wasn't scared. I feel like everyone's heard a fucking story like that. And it didn't even do anything scary, really. It was more just ominous, if anything. Yeah, 1. Yeah, that's fair. We got 2 other chances for it to get better in this single video. So hopefully it does. A farm?
Hello, my name is Joe and I'm 10, from a small farm in Nebraska.
Where are they
have
getting
2
all these children
sisters,
telling horror
Annie and
stories?
Scarlett, and they're 16. Our farm used to be quite large. But as time went on, people and animals have been taking our crops and littering. But that's besides the point. Our family was never wealthy and we didn't have much. It happened about a year ago before I found out about this channel. I live near Medicine Creek. and
Oh,
our
so these
tractor
are, like,
broke down,
submitted.
So we had to pull it all
Probably,
the
like,
way
on
to
YouTube.
Cambridge. There had recently been people hunting animals nearby, and our parents didn't want our livestock getting killed. Our parents had me and my sister stay at the farm in case the hunters came to collect food. So my sister and I were watching the television when we heard rustling in the crops. Then our dog, Scout, started barking when the first gunshot
That was a
went
bit.
off.
I was gonna say that was a bit more than
The
rustling. That was a whole
started to
shotgun.
put her hand
Like,
over my mouth. We tried to call the police, but the phone line was out. Damn it. He cut the phone line. Next, the man shot out the window and jumped through. We ran straight upstairs to our bedroom. I saw a glimpse of his face. He was skinny with mildly red eyes and short, black, greasy hair. He pointed the rifle at me, but missed. My sister shoved me into the room as she pulled out a knife.
I
and
love that
ran
she
at
just
the
had
man.
a knife.
Then the most terrifying part.
Oh shit.
A bullet flew into my sister's arm.
Oh,
She
okay.
screamed as the man pointed the gun at me. Thankfully, the man fell downstairs as Scout bit a
Good
chunk
dog.
from his leg. I grabbed the knife and ran straight at him. I stabbed it 4 times as blood splattered everywhere on the wall. The police showed up eventually because the neighbors saw the commotion. Thankfully, no one was majorly hurt.
What about the
Just
guy?
hope that nothing like this ever
Not that,
happens
like,
again.
obviously he's a bad guy. He did it, but
My name is Luke.
hold on.
This happened to me in August last year.
All of these seem to just be like, are you a small child with trauma? Well, we'll animate it. I don't know. It was like, you know, again, it's a different type of spook. It's more just like, it's more just trauma. I'll give it like a 1.5 just because I didn't see it coming. What's up, Ed? I know it sounds like an alibi to me. He's like, well, could you animate this? Because otherwise I'm going to go to jail. That's basically what it seems like. Like, I'm a 10-year-old who's trying not to go to jail. Like, how you doing? Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I give it like a 1.5. You give it another 1? Or is that the one from last time? I wasn't impressed. I know, yeah, for real. They say horror, but they say true horror, so maybe people are just seeing too much true crime and they're getting it confused nowadays. Yeah, Ed says 1. It was weird. I know, it was, I mean, there's something about the way that they draw the bad people that I'm gonna hold off on until we watch a few more before I'm kind of getting an idea of there is a bias afoot, I believe. I'm noticing a pattern, but we'll see. I'm gonna give it some more chances. Maybe it's just a coincidence, right? Doesn't it seem like that, Lady Fox? Okay, I'm not the only one. Let me see.
My name is Luke.
The sleepover.
This happened to me in August last year on a Friday. I was 20 at the time. My parents were going out of town for a week. They said I could invite some friends over, so I called my friend Mark. He asked if he could bring his little brother since he was babysitting me. So when they got here, we decided to get pizza. We were waiting for the pizza. So I said, "Hey, you want to have a sleepover?" He said, "Of course, but my brother's going to have to stay." I told him that was fine. So while we were waiting for the pizza, we were playing video games. And then the pizza arrived and we ate and played more video games. Then we went to bed. He and his brother were sleeping on the floor on a mattress. At 2:30 a.m. he woke me up and said, "I don't feel good. I'm gonna go home." So when he left, I went to pick up the mattress, and I saw a complete man under my bed. I screamed.
Complete man.
I ran out of the room and called 911.
Oh no, I don't
He
think
woke
it's
up
like
from
what
my
you see.
scream and tried to leave. Then I tackled him before he could get to the front door. The police came 5 minutes later. Turns out he was homeless. They put him in handcuffs and he looked at me with an ugly grin. I noticed he had a knife in his back pocket. The police told me he might be going to prison for 1 year.
I know, right?
He's been in my house for a week.
It was a half a
The
man.
question we were all asking was, how did he get in the house? Nobody knows. What scares me the most is that it's been 1 year, and I know he's out on the street now. When my friend got home, he called and told me there was a hobo under my bed, and that's the reason why he left.
Why wouldn't
If he hadn't realized there was a guy under my bed, he would have stayed. And who knows what would have happened.
Uh-oh. Okay, wait, but I gotta fix that whatever echo that is. Let me see, because I feel like this isn't moving at all, but it usually is. I don't know if that might be it. Capitalism strikes again. I know the truth again. The horror is just houselessness. Because this didn't used to be... What's weird is it's not too loud anymore, though, on Twitch, right? Or hopefully, at least. Because I'm not sure which one I can, like... It's the sound's the same as it's always been. Like, I haven't changed anything besides lowering it. Oh, weird. Okay. It might have... But was it like that for the... Was it like that for the previous videos, or was it just this one? What did you all think of that, though?
This is...
Yeah, they didn't at least make the bad guy look like the same bias that I noticed in the first couple for that one. So that was, I guess, a slightly better tale. Yeah, probably too. Have you all seen? There's like, I forget what they're called, like froggers or whatever, where it's like people hop from house to house and try to go inside and then not be seen. Allegedly, that's a whole thing, and they made like a horror movie about it and stuff. That's not very good. A 2. Oh, okay. It might have been. I mean, because I didn't really notice it, and I don't know. But yeah, we'll see if in the next one there's still the echo. All right, we got True Psychopath Husband Horror Story animated.
My story about how I met my psychopathic husband 5 years ago.
What?
He was the sweetest and most handsome man in the world.
Wow.
And I thought I was the happiest woman in the world. However, I did not know what terrible hell awaits behind that happiness at that time. After the wedding, we were having so sweet a time every day that one morning I tried to open my eyes with a strange feeling, but couldn't open my eyes. I woke up screaming and realized that there was something sticky covering my eyes, nose, and mouth. And I dimly saw my husband smiling and holding something in front of me. I shouted, being startled, "What are you doing?" Then he said, "Honey, I was putting some honey on your face to make your skin look better." I pushed him and ran outside. My face was messed up with honey.
My face was messed up with honey.
Eyes, nose, and mouth, making it hard to see and breathe. Then he shouted, "Let's have breakfast," and took the bread and shoved it into my mouth. My throat was choking, so I couldn't
My
breathe
throat was
properly.
choking.
I screamed in pain and
Twinkle.
shouted for help, but he kept squeezing bread into my mouth so I couldn't speak.
What the fuck is this?
Shortly, I blacked out in the air.
12 ounces of Suba
When I
Panera.
opened
Oh
my
man, it was
eyes,
probably like
I was in
14
the
bucks.
hospital and saw my husband crying next to me. He was shaking his shoulders like crazy, but it turned out he wasn't crying.
He was laughing?
actually laughing. I couldn't grasp reality for a while, hardly understanding why I was lying in the hospital. Then he said, "If you pass out, I can't play with you anymore, honey. Next time,
You gotta
if
divorce
feel
this
like I
guy.
pass out, tell me in advance. Then I'll give you a break." I just realized the situation and screamed in anger. "Why are you acting like a psycho all of a sudden?" He answered after a short silence. "I've been waiting for this moment for the past 3 years. So long." His face looked to be thrilled. I was so shocked, so I burst into tears and shouted at him about to call the police. Then he jumped up and shouted, "Shut up! Do you know how happy I am right now? Don't ruin my mood." He immobilized me, grabbing both of my hands. He held me in the hospital room for the rest of the day. Then he suddenly whispered softly, "In the meantime, I've been thinking about how to have fun with you every day, and I came up with a lot of ideas. Thank you for marrying me.
Thank you for marrying me. That's a sentence that people say.
I cried at him in shock. Why the hell? Why? Then he laughed and licked my tears, and whispered in my ear with a very small voice, "You were always a person who was always smiling." I hated seeing that. So, from now on, I'll always make you depressed. I'll make you live the rest of your life crying every day.
This is like
Your tears.
what a child would write if they learned what a sadist is.
He laughed madly. I spit in his face, and then he pulled back, covering his face. Then I dashed out of the room and ran to the police station. And I begged the police not to let him come next to me. And I went
This
through
must
the
be
worst
translated.
proceedings with him right away. Fortunately, I was able to slowly get away from him and started going back to a normal life. Sometime after I broke up with him, he texted me for the last time. It is a pity. I still had a lot left to do with you. Eventually I divorced him, and then what I heard about him was so shocking. It turned out that he had already been married and divorced 3 times before he married me. And I was told that all 3 of his ex-wives committed suicide. Then finally I realized that he was looking for a toy to play with, not
Yeah,
a
bro.
marriage partner. But I was not
There's no
picked.
normal life after that.
Of course, I've had a hard time receiving psychiatric treatment for several years, but now overcame it. The day he left for the last time is still unforgettable. He took a Barbie doll out of his pocket. A string was tied around the doll's neck. Then he lifted the rope and let the doll hang by itself. And he said, "That's a pity. I wanted to make you like this." And he slammed the door shut and never came back. I gained a great realization since then. The realization is that human beings are more terrifying than devils. And those beings with a human's appearance, but are actually devils, are walking around you now as well.
It's the way that it's described, though, like a child wrote it for me. I don't know. I can't, because, like, okay, you do hear of, like, I'm trying to think, like, that one vegan, what the hell was it called? It was, like, a true crime document series. The one, the evil vegan, or what the hell, what was it called? You know what I'm talking about? That was the kind of shit that her ex would say to her. But it sounds so, like, I don't know, it just sounds so basic that, like, repeating it back, it sounds like, what? Like, I don't know, it just... Like, what the fuck? Like, it just doesn't make any sense. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know if it was just the way that it was written or what, but I'm not convinced that that was either real or written by a person. Like, that could have easily been created, like, by an AI that you put in where, like, this is the definition of sociopath, write a story. Like, that's how, that's how it felt to me. Yeah, exactly. It felt kind of childish, and I don't know. Because it never, I don't know how to explain it. It just, I don't believe it at all. As if the rest of these stories have been, like, written by an adult. I don't know, maybe it's also the cartoon. I don't know. But I give it a 1. I think it wasn't good at all. What do you all think? No pressure. Which is to say, obviously, any stories of abuse should be taken very seriously. I just don't believe that this one was real or convincing at all. Twinkle, what is you? It's not even 8:30.
Go and go to E after it. My only advice would literally just be do it.
We got true scam horror story.
I wanted to become a successful supermodel like Kendall.
Yeah, I know. I think they might
It was
be.
a career that stood out the most to me, and I
Because,
was
like I said,
extremely
from
dedicated to achieving it.
from
I talked
what
to my parents.
here, let me restate this. They might just be poorly translated. There's a good chance, I suppose, especially if, like, from the sounds of it, it almost, like, the way that they're speaking almost sounds like they're being submitted to something, and then, like, there's only, like, a chance that they'll be picked to be animated, just based off of, like, if this company is doing so many of the, like, these, that might really be what it is. So that's a good point, Lady Fox. You said, could they be poorly translated stories? That is true. That is a distinct possibility. Either way, it was weird. And I don't believe it anyway. Speaking of things you don't believe, We got true scam horror story.
At the age of 13, I wanted to become a successful supermodel like Kendall or Bella. It was a career that stood out the most to me, and I was extremely dedicated to achieving it. I talked to my parents about my future success plan. They supported me and had amazing feedback. I was eager to become a model, so I did something dumb and decided to apply myself to a modeling company. A week later, I received a call from a woman. I specifically remember what she said to me. "Hey, are you Sarah?" "My name is Saida." I correct her by saying, "It's Saida. Who is this?" She goes, "I wanted to contact you about the email I sent you. We're here to schedule a photo shoot." In surprise, I responded, "Oh, really? Ma'am, thank you so much." The lady replied, "Yes, honey, believe it. I've helped girls become very successful. We are located in Manhattan. Where I live, New York is close but expensive." She claimed, "I'm sure your mom would understand that this is a wonderful opportunity." I was worried about how my parents would react, but excited. The next day, I brought it up to my dad, and he said, "Saida, who was this person? Did you reveal your personal information to a stranger? You can't do that. You're going to get hurt," he screamed at the top of his lungs. Later, apologized for yelling and stating, "I just don't want you getting hurt." I had made a dumb decision. I was naive, impulsive, and impatient. That same month, I watched a video on this lady's website. It was about a young woman named Kara Nichols. She was 18 and had a passion for modeling, and later joined some random Craigslist modeling app. A supposed photographer sent her an email wanting to meet up. The photos taken of Kara are the only evidence she was seen alive. Her family is still grieving. This lady has been missing since 2012. Later, I found out the modeling company I applied to wasn't legit and was a scam. I also clearly remember the woman replying with, "To this day, it still sends shivers down my spine." Well, we're not an agency. We just pick out girls we think are a fit for us. So we just want you. At first, I thought that was a little suspicious. Thank God my parents didn't let me go.
There's a lot of that too, for sure. Yeah, again, I don't know. It's not scary to me. It's just like more of like a beware kind of tale or something. But I'd probably give that a 1 again. Twinkle, stop. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I see what you're saying, those off. Like I believe that the other one is for sure like a plausible story. I just think that like, because obviously that kind of stuff does happen, and it happens probably a lot more frequently than we realize. But it was the way that like the casualness with which it's told, like it sounds like it was totally made up. I don't know. Like, but again, it might just be because of maybe it was poorly translated or something. Slow news day almost. Yeah. All right, we got Horror Story animated. So this one's just kind of like, well, it's obviously called Weird Man. So we'll see.
ये कहानी 8 साल पहले की है जब मैं 13
Let
साल
me see if
का
there's
था।
captions.
उस समय मेरी माँ
Oh no, it looks like they're turned off. Oh, okay, I misunderstood. I thought that this might have been also like captions available, but I guess it's not. All right, let me see. No Weird Man for us. All right, my paranormal experience. Oh, for sure. No, I know that. Yeah, especially as someone, I mean, I research all types of violence and stuff, and I've lived a lot of like abusive relationships, but I think it was the casualness with which it was described and the with which the man described it that didn't make any sense to me. Like, I don't know. My paranormal
My nickname
experience.
is S. I wanted to share my experience that I had 4 months ago in hopes of it getting animated. Your animations are totally great,
So,
and I'm a
yeah, they
daily
do
viewer
submit
of your
that.
channel. About 4 months ago, I was home as usual with my parents and siblings, and I was studying.
You
I
gotta submit it
decided
to
to
this
take a
website,
shower
Zach.
after I was done, and so I did. When I was in the shower, my parents and my 2 siblings went to take our cat to the vet and forgot to tell me. I continued showering and didn't hear them leaving or anything, so I didn't know that they left. While I was in the shower, our power went out. I thought nothing of
That
it
would be
since a
scary.
week ago my mom said that there was a problem with the electricity and that she would get it fixed soon. I got out of the shower and went to the living room where me and my parents usually hang out and watch TV. I couldn't see much, but I clearly saw 4 figures sitting on the couch. I was talking to them and complaining about the electricity, and no one responded. I was hearing breathing sounds, so I was certain that they were actually there. I told my sister to get off the couch so I could sit, and still no answer. I got annoyed at how they were acting and decided to move her myself. But as soon as I touched that figure, it was air. I stopped for a second. I was shocked. I ran and got my phone and turned the flashlight on and saw that no one was home. I called my parents and they said they would be coming back home soon. That night when I went to my room, I saw my blanket on my bed had the shape of a human, as if someone was hiding under the blanket. I told my sister to stop playing and get out, but no answer. I got mad, and when I removed the blanket, no one was there.
It's time to move.
I kept trying to remake that shape, but the blanket
Once
was too
is like,
soft to
okay.
make that shape and stand like that.
Twice, absolutely not.
I'm still unsure who, or should I say what, those things were that night. And to this day, I can't find an explanation.
That was pretty good. Not scary though, still. At
Still
least not in the way that I'm hoping for. But yeah, you gotta submit the paranormal stories to this website's off. You could get it animated by this incredible story or incredible website. Send them to me, I'll animate them. Well, I'm on both TikTok and Twitch, so it wouldn't be fair if I invited someone on one and then didn't invite it on the other. Next up, we got that. Well, actually, what did you all think of the last one? With the guy where he thought people came up, or he thought people were in his house, but after he was in the shower. Like I said, I wasn't scared by it, but I think it was probably like, I don't know, like a 1 or 1.5. You give it a 3? All right, fair enough. I mean, if that actually happened, that would be scary as fuck, so maybe I'll give it a 3 too. Especially with both things. Maybe that's how I gotta understand these ones in comparison to the other, like, horror short films. Like, understanding them as if you're supposed to really put yourself in the position. Alright, we got The Town. Same company.
One night while I was sleeping, I suddenly woke up with goosebumps. Looking around, there was something gigantic outside the window, blocking the moonlight. I was startled and looked at it closely. Outside the window, a very large face was staring at me.
That would be scary.
It was 3 times the size of a human's face, and its skin color was pitch black, and it was smiling broadly. I jumped out of bed in surprise.
Really?
What was even more shocking was that I was on the 2nd floor. A
Oh,
human
God.
couldn't be that big. I shouted as I trembled, "Police!" I couldn't say a thing.
Bro, the cops aren't gonna
After
save
a
you
while,
from
it
this.
slowly moved away,
Whatever
and
this
silence
is.
staring at me as it walked away. Its eyes paralyzed my whole body, and I couldn't move. When it was far away, I finally could see its body. It was a huge giant that looked as if it was 12 feet tall. The length of its legs looked like a telephone pole. I froze on the spot, watching the scene. What the hell was that? Is this a dream? But despite how many times I pinched on my trembling thighs, I realized it wasn't a dream. Who the hell was he? I had big doubts. And I went around asking people in the neighborhood if anyone had seen him. Among them, there was an old lady who was over 80 years old. And she said to me with a very surprised expression,
"He's back? I'd seen him when I was about 30. After the giant came, people in the village started to die. When I was little, my parents told me that there is a giant that appears in town, but I didn't believe it. But he appeared again. Soon, there'll be successive deaths in this village.
After that day, the people really started dying in the village, but the people who died were all troublemakers. Bullies who stole other people's money, people who committed adultery, and scammers, etc. Dozens of people have died mysterious deaths with unknown causes. All of them were found overnight with their bodies compressed into tiny balls, but the police and doctors couldn't find any exact evidence why they died like that. All the people in the village were seized with great fear. Then one day, while I was sleeping again, a loud voice resonated throughout my room, as if a cave.
I have to clean up this town every 50 years.
Twinkle, shut
No
up.
humans cause damage to the valley, so they must keep periodically disposed of. Fortunately, you are not a defective product. Keep on living a life of virtue.
And at the window, the giant was smiling again. I shuddered in fear, but with the heavy thud of his footsteps, he slowly drifted away, and I haven't
You gotta
heard
close your
his
blinds.
All the people in the village trembled in fear, but after a few days there was no one who died. All the villagers gathered around and said he would come again later on, and that they should prepare for that. Even at this moment, I'm really afraid. Will he really appear again after 50 years? If so, should I leave this town? If I leave this place, will I be free from his judgment?
I guess, I mean, it sounded like she was an upstanding citizen because the giant didn't take her the first time. So as long as she just.
What if you could do SEO smarter?
Just keep up the good work. Yeah, if you didn't leave after the first or the second time you saw the giant, you may as well stay, man. Like, I mean, you could technically send the story, but like I said, I'm not the one that animates them. So if you wanted to get it animated, you're gonna want to send it to this company, Wansi Entertainment. But yeah, I think if I was this character, I would get out of there. I don't know. They didn't say where they were though, so maybe that isn't an option. All right, we got two that actually have names in the beginning, but yeah, I don't know that one. Again, I've never been a fan of like stories that have like creature features, so I'm gonna give that one a 1. But what did you all think? Like giants and stuff don't really creep me out, or like because there's that one icy like horror movie that's on like Netflix. There's like a train. I think there was like or no, maybe not a train. I'm merging them together. There was like another like mountainous kind of like ice horror movie that I remember seeing, and I think that was the plot. It was giants. 1.5. Yeah, that's fair for entertainment. All right, we got 2 of them. We got Skinwalker, and then we got School Night. I know there's some shit in Appalachia that you can't fuck with, and I'm assuming that's what this first one's gonna be, right?
I woke up in the middle of the night with my cousin sleeping next to me. This happened about 2 or 3 years ago, when we were at our grandparents' house, but they weren't home since they had been invited to a party. It was just the 2 of us, and we were old enough.
It looks like they're in a high-rise. I would have expected
to
them
get a
to
cup of
be
warm.
in the forest.
As I walked back to my bed, I heard scratching at the window next to where my cousin and I were sleeping.
I was too afraid to remove the curtain, so I just laid back down. But then, I heard the scratching again, and I was on the verge of tears. Being a teenager, my mind was running wild, and I couldn't help but imagine seeing 2 glowing eyes in the dark. I have had night terrors before, which made my fear of the dark even worse. I woke up my cousin, who was initially frustrated with me, but then he agreed to check the window. He put his hand on the curtain, pulled it back, and suddenly, there was a high-pitched scream. I started crying uncontrollably, but my cousin covered my mouth and jumped onto the bed, warning me that it was a skinwalker, and that it might hurt us. The creature screamed again, and I was crying so hard but silently. My cousin told me that when he pulled the curtain back,
Are you not
he saw
supposed
it
to look
running
at
on the
those?
walls like a deformed wolf, and then it jumped onto the balcony and hopped off, screaming all along. I was in such terror that I couldn't believe what I was experiencing. We lived in the city. This was unheard of. After the screams of the creature, I passed out. When I woke up, my cousin told me that nothing else had happened. We immediately ran outside in the fresh morning sunlight and checked the windows. There were long and jagged scratch marks on the windows and walls, and we could see paw and human prints on the walls. I went to check on the pet goldfish that my dad had left outside in a bowl of water.
Oh man, I ate the
To my
goldfish.
surprise, they were all gone. Only a puddle of water remained on the ground. We didn't tell our grandparents because we were afraid of something bad happening to us. You might not want to believe me, but I know what happened that night. The claw marks, high-pitched screams, footprints, and everything my cousin saw will stick with us forever.
I mean, it looked like they were like way up there, so it's not like it's gonna be
My
like
name
a
is
record.
Zach, and I have a girlfriend named Mira.
What do we think of that one? That was probably one of the better ones, if you ask me. But it's still not scary. I'd still say it's like probably like a 1.5. But yeah, I didn't think, because does anyone familiar with the Skinwalker situation? I could have sworn that like you're not supposed to look at them, right? Or else they're gonna like never leave you alone. I thought that was the whole thing. But I also thought those were like the ones that like transform into other stuff. I want to be frightened. I know I want to be frightened too. The first one like put the expectations up so high. I think not to. Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, because you're not supposed to like whistle back or whatever, right? Or am I thinking of a different one? I don't remember. Oh, okay, for sure. I know, I think I would probably have more fear or knowledge about them if I lived somewhere like just a little bit more like southeast. Because I'm like just far enough away to like be ignorantly not afraid of them. We got a 3. Twinkle, it's not 8:30. I'll be quiet. Jesus. Got the window.
My name is Zach, and I have a girlfriend named Mira. One day, Mira and I were walking towards school when we saw Jace and Vasco. I asked them what they were doing, and they said Vasco was going to the school alone later because there was an old story from our school about a woman in the very back corner of an empty hallway who is constantly looking for her child at midnight. If she sees you, she's going to ask you if you've seen her child. Upon hearing the news, I wanted to get my girlfriend's attention. This was creepy. Jace also said that you have to write a signature. It's part of the ritual, and the plan is to get to the school around midnight. I said,
What? Vasco can't do that. Look at him shaking over there.
I chuckled, and then Jace replied,
I want some of it.
Then you should go.
I got goosebumps and
You're
replied,
being annoying.
Yeah, okay, I guess I can.
A few hours passed, and it was midnight. I brought a doll just in case the story turned out to be true.
He's like, I need to
Headed
bring
for the
some
school.
sort of baby for
I could
this.
see Jace and Vasco from far away, keeping their distance. So we had a little chit-chat, and then I went inside the school. I walked and walked, and then someone or something appeared in front of me. There was a woman who had a hat.
She's got a
short
fashionable
hair,
hat
and
on.
was smiling creepily at me. She said,
You are holding my baby. You are holding my baby. You are holding my baby.
I would
And I said,
literally
Yeah,
be so
she's your
scared.
baby.
and then I took off down some hallway, but found myself trapped in a dead end. The rain was pouring down, and it echoed off the roof. Lightning reflected in the window, which got my attention, and I could see there was a picture of the same woman looking back at me. I wrote down my signature as fast as I could and got back outside.
His name is an upside
We
down
decided to
triangle
go
with a
home,
line
and
in
my
it.
girlfriend Mira, Jace, and Vasco were all shocked when I told them what happened. I wrote my signature on the window and not in the picture.
So this must be translated,
Jace
obviously.
nervously
What am I
asked me if I
talking
was
about?
joking,
Like,
and I
I
said
didn't get
wasn't.
it at first.
Does that mean...
Okay, all right. Well, good. We got our answer. Does anyone know what language that was?
Whether it's what? I can bake sale.
I was like, what? And then, oh yes, obviously. But yeah, I saw maybe like the first couple episodes of Love, Death, and Robots, but I'm like really particular with cartoons when it comes to like the art style. I think that's probably why I'm like hypercritical of this too, because like I usually like stuff, I don't know. I don't really like the look of like DC or Marvel either, but more of like the indie kind of stuff like Black Horse or I forget what the other one's called. But anything that's like super sharp, I don't usually really like. So I'm super picky with like cartoons and stuff usually. But yeah, I don't know about y'all. I wasn't a fan of that one either. It was pretty interesting. I mean, it would be scary as fuck. I know, yeah. I think it was the one that I watched. It was like where there's the two brothers and they're running through that area where there's like ice and they're like getting whales and stuff. That was the last one I gave a try, and then I never gave the rest of them a shot. But yeah, I remember all of them are a different art style. All right, we got The Lottery Will Change Your Life. I don't know how this one's gonna turn into a horror short, but we will see.
4D is my passion. 4D is my life.
What's 4D?
4D. This lottery is also how I got started.
Oh, it's a lottery, okay.
My dad has been buying it since I was 6. He must have had the luck of the devil because he always gets the top number every time. In fact, he was so lucky that he didn't even need to find a job. The $500 that he got every time was enough. When I turned 18, he took me to the betting shop for the first time. I remember the excitement when I handed the piece of paper to the officials. After running back home, my heart pounded with anticipation. I remember reading the results in the newspaper the next day. I won second prize. My father was proud of me. He beamed as I showed him my winnings, and the money was fully displayed on the dinner table, like it was the most exquisite art piece. From then on, the betting shop would be like my second home. Running down there to buy it and checking the numbers in the newspaper became almost like a routine. Most of the time I won nothing. I was frustrated, despondent. Yet still, I was determined. I could still win this. Thus, I started researching how to improve my chances of winning. That was how I stumbled upon the advertisement one day. It was written in big, bold colors. Better chance to win big, triple the money.
Oh, capitalism again.
I just needed to give them a little something extra. It was exactly what I needed. I woke my father up the next morning. I told him I would take him out to the betting shop, just the two of us, father and son. He agreed readily. He was getting old now. He was getting so old. His face was wrinkled, and his hair was silvery gray. We took the taxi to the betting shop. After about 10
So it looks
tickets,
like the person in front of
I
this
marched up to the
Slender Man.
officials and handed them the money. Here you go. Take whatever you want from him. I said in Cantonese, shoving my father forward. He started to gasp and look back at me with his pleading face. But my face was like stone, as the old man in charge opened the gates and dragged my father inside.
You're not gonna tell me that that guy wasn't Slender
I
Man.
turned and
They
walked
look at
away
them, they're
as my
all Slender
father's
Mans.
screams echoed out of the shop. They went all out taking their payment. Eyes, arms, legs, whatever they wanted. Blood pooled out of the entrance and ran down the drain. That night I checked the website. Despite buying 10 tickets, none of the numbers I bet on made it to the draw. I gnashed my teeth in frustration. I will win those $1 million one day. My brother looked over my shoulder. What's this? You know 4D? I asked. Aye. Do you want to come with me to the betting shop tomorrow?
Gambling. It's no good. He's about to... sort of, yeah. I know, I realized, okay, so when we first started watching these, I was under the impression that it was like a couple of white dudes being like potentially racist, and then I think it's actually just, they're all, at least everyone by that company, I think is actually just from some part of the world that is in fact not white people. So it actually makes me feel better, because at first, like, I think that's what, let me see. Yeah, Lady Fox, you were talking about that earlier, right? That's what I was noticing, and then I'm realizing it's not just like some sort of potentially problematic bias, but like that's just every character is kind of, their eyes are made in like an intentionally like kind of like art style that makes it kind of ambiguous, from what I can tell. Is anyone else noticing that? And then obviously, like, this next company is different, but the company is Wansee. Like, Wansee. So I'm assuming, and then they just said that they were speaking Cantonese. So, I mean, this all makes a lot more sense now, but I didn't catch on, I guess, in the beginning. So, hopefully, I don't know, it makes me feel better realizing that these are probably actually stories that were translated, and everything makes a lot more sense now. But yeah, Squid Game said. I forget that that was around gambling too, huh? Where they have, like, the big thing of money. Next one we got is by Llama Arts. But yeah, again, I think they're more so just like warnings. Like they're like tales of like beware more than horror, I guess. Which is fine. But I would give that, I mean, obviously it sucks that all these awful things happen. Like gambling, there's, I mean, the whole black market around doing shit to get money, like that's a real thing for sure. I wrote a paper about that actually in like my first year of undergrad. But yeah, I don't know. I'd give that probably like up to. What'd you all think? Gambling will fuck your life up. It will for sure. Yeah, 2. 2 it is. Alright, we got a new company. This is the first one that isn't just that same company. House Sitting Horror Stories. I forget how many of them there are. Let me see. We got 3 minutes in total, so it couldn't be that many. Oh, I'm assuming there's 3. Oh, I gotta turn the sound on. I was like, is this like, am I supposed to click on something? Now we watch that again. But with sound. By Llama Arts.
A couple weeks ago, my dad came home and pitched me a small job offer. One of his coworkers was going away for a few days and needed somebody he could trust to watch over his house. The reason my dad pitched this to me was because the man's house has a big CCTV system, basically a camera in every room, and then an operating desk where all screens could be watched on a big monitor. And I'm a computer science major, so my dad just always assumed that I know how to work anything technological. The man told my dad that he'd pay me $200 for the 2 days just to watch the house. Whatever that meant. My dad drove me to the house and introduced me to the man, whose name doesn't matter. The man made it seem like he preferred I stay in the upstairs room with the monitors as opposed to roaming the house all day. That was fine with me, though. So when I wasn't eating, I was mostly just sitting in that room with the TV on in the background and doing schoolwork on my laptop. Ironically, the thing I was doing the least was keeping an eye on the monitors. Night came. I started wondering where in the house I should sleep, since surprisingly we hadn't discussed that. So I sat back down at the desk and looked at all the different rooms on the screens to see which rooms had beds or couches. I noticed something I wasn't expecting to notice, though. The back screen door was open downstairs. I didn't remember it being open. I looked through each and every camera screen in a panic. In the living room, a closet door was open. This one I knew wasn't open earlier. I texted my dad to call the man and ask him if he came back home. Meanwhile, I continued watching the screen. On the grainy, dark image, a tall person who resembled only a black shadow on the
I'd run out of there. I'd be like, $200 isn't worth it, man.
I pulled my arms off the desk as I covered my mouth with my hands in shock. As I did this, however, my left elbow pulled some heavy object from the desk onto the floor, creating a big thud.
Uh-oh.
The person in the image very clearly moved their head up to the ceiling as a response to the noise. They went for the stairs, walking up very slowly, step by step. Meanwhile, I got a text back from my dad saying, "No, he's not. I just spoke to him half an hour ago. Why?" I got so caught up in my phone texting my dad to send help that I didn't even pay attention to the monitor.
Bro, we better lock the door.
I looked at it and then the screens. The first screen I laid my eyes on was the one showing the person outside the door to the room I was in. When I remembered that door had no lock,
Oh god, that would
the
suck.
only thing I could do was jump out the window into the bushes below. I ran halfway down the block and then stopped when my dad called me. I had him call his friend and ask him if he was expecting somebody in the house. The man said he had no relatives or friends who had his key or would ever let themselves into his home. So he called the cops and had them review the footage. I got to watch all of it, and it showed everything. From the moment the intruder broke the glass of the backyard door to the moment I jumped out the window and him running away shortly
I
after.
thought they were gonna do the whole thing where it's like
The
they
intruder
didn't
was
see
never
anything.
found. The footage was
There
just
was
too
no one
dark to
there.
recognize his face.
Well, I'm glad he jumped out the window. And then it wasn't too high.
Explore, right?
What do y'all think? I think that was one of the better ones, but probably only like a 3. Maybe like a 3.5. It was just nice to have a different company. A 2.3. Fair enough. A 2. An encounter with a girl. Back to Wansi Entertainment.
My name is Kushi Singhal, and I'm a 17-year-old living in Delhi, India. So the story goes like this. This incident happened to me a few months back. One day, I was returning from coaching classes, and as usual, people were crowded on the streets, and the hour of the day was also a busy one, probably 6 in the evening. I was really tired that day, so I decided to book a cab home for myself instead of taking the bus. It was a distance of about 21 miles between my home and class, and it took about 1.5 to 2 hours to reach home. While I was in the cab, suddenly I was shaken a bit, and the car stopped just about a mile away from my home, but because it was so dark, it seemed to be a pretty long journey. So I decided to walk home as it was too late to take another vehicle. After walking for a few minutes, I realized that a girl, probably the same age as me, was sitting behind the bushes just nearby where I was standing. Out of curiosity, I asked the girl if she needed any kind of help, and then she gently lifted her head up and said in a low voice, "Thank you for your concern. Actually, I hurt my leg while I was walking by the side. Could you please give me your handkerchief so that I can..."
Why they gotta make her mouth look like a
I said,
puppet.
"Okay, but please tell me if you told your family about this," to which she said, "Yes, I've contacted them and they'll be getting here any moment. But the wound is really hurting and I need to cover it as soon as possible." So I searched my bag, and as soon as I was about to give her my handkerchief, an old man came towards me, grabbed my arm, and immediately took me to the other side and said, "Hey kid, I was watching you for a few minutes. Who are you talking to over there?" Then I replied, "I was speaking to that girl over there to ask if she needed my help and was about to give her my hanky, but you grabbed my hand." And the next thing the man said to me left me in complete silence and with a deep horror inside me. Listen, the girl which you were referring to was nowhere there. And I guess it was not human, but the ghost of the girl who died 26 years ago in a road accident here. And it's good you haven't given any of your belongings to her, because if you had, it would be a really big problem for you, like you can't even imagine. Now don't stop anywhere until you reach home." I was left shaken and out of my senses. I ran straight home as fast as I could. When I reached home, my mother opened the door and said, "Fishy, who's this girl with you? One of your friends?" Without even listening to what she said next, I came in and closed the door and went straight to my room.
I have no
That night,
friends.
I couldn't sleep, so I tried to calm myself down. I fell asleep and ultimately woke up the next morning. I then realized I was lucky enough that I didn't give this girl my handkerchief, because if I had done so, she probably would have chased me. And the girl that accompanied me the previous night was the same girl I had encountered. I am really thankful to the old man for saving my life.
Twinkle, can you not? She just knows that if she keeps going, she's gonna get me to do it. And I'm just so sick of it. Like, what did you all think? That was one of the better ones, I think. I know that there's a lot of like different folklore about like, don't do that. They'll haunt you. A 4. Yeah, I think me too. We got the Tudor horror story. Spooky education. But there's a campfire.
Hi, I've been watching all of your scary videos every time you guys upload them. I find all the stories interesting and very terrifying. But I never expected I would experience something horrifying, just like the videos you guys upload. Here's my story. I'm a girl who lives in a province here in the Philippines, and people here are very superstitious, especially the old folks. I never believed in those superstitious beliefs, but I never imagined that those beliefs would one day save my life. It happened 2 months ago when I got accepted as a tutor for a kid in the barangay near us. The salary was nice, and so was the family. It had been 3 weeks since I started being a math tutor for their child, and I was on my way to their house when I noticed people staring at me weirdly, as if they saw a ghost or something. I just shrugged it off and made my way to the student's house. I knocked on the door and smiled at the mother, who smiled back at me. But her smile suddenly faded away, and she looked at me like how the people on the street did. I thought I messed up my makeup or something, so I asked her, but she stood there quietly. The awkward silence was interrupted when I heard my student's cheerful voice shouting my name and running towards my direction. I was excited to hug her too, since she was always hyped up to see me, but she stopped midway and started crying. Her mother snapped back to reality and said, "Maybe she's just tired. You can have a seat in the living room while I prepare lunch." Even though I was confused, I just sat on their nearby sofa.
I don't know, I'm kind of confused too.
Screaming.
Why is my teacher's head missing?
I was shocked by
She
what
would
the
have
kid
noticed
said,
that.
and it became even creepier when her dad approached me, also looking
that
scared,
sketch, though.
and said, "I think you should go home for now. But remember, if you arrive home, burn all the clothes that you're wearing today." It didn't make sense, but I just nodded and went home.
Wait,
At
but
home,
her head
I
was
recalled
missing?
all those bizarre things that happened and told my parents about it. My parents, who were never superstitious at all, suddenly got up and started praying. They told me to burn the clothes that I wore that day immediately. Since their reaction creeped me out, I did what they all told me to. So I burned my
hence the
clothes that
bonfire.
night. While burning my clothes, I could smell some weird odor that made me want to puke. I told my brother to watch my burning clothes because I was going
Watch
to get a
these
glass
burning
of water.
clothes, small child.
But on my way, I fainted. When I woke up, it was already 7:30 p.m. I asked my mom what happened, and they told me I fainted. So they took me to the hospital, and they said I was fine.
It's always that,
Since I couldn't
that
wake up in
doctor
the
that looks like
morning,
a
my
character
parents
from
informed my
Doug.
students' parents that I wouldn't be there since I was sick. But the next thing shocked me because while listening to the radio, we heard that there was a shootout that happened in the street during 8:30 in the morning. And luckily, no one got injured since no one was walking on those streets at that time. But that's the same street that I always walk on at exactly 8:30 in the morning to
She
get to
died?
my student's house. I then realized that
Oh my
the
God.
reason my students saw me headless is I was about to get into an accident, and if I hadn't burned my clothes, I would have been a victim of the shootout. You see, in the Philippines, if people see you headless, it was advised that you should burn your clothes that you're wearing that day in order to be safe.
I never heard that before. Good thing she is a tutor. Like, shit, she could have just sat in her house all day and wouldn't have known. I don't know. I wasn't as scared as any of the people that were looking at her headless, so I'm gonna give it a 2. Like, what do you all think? $2.5. Fair enough. The Snowman horror story animated. A 2. Yeah. 2's all around. We got Snowman horror story. Oop.
When I was 6. This is an experience I had when I was 16 years old during the winter. Since the incident, I still can't go outside on snowy days. Back then, whenever it snowed, there was something I always did. It was called snowman smashing. Paul, George, and I would gather in the village on snowy days, look for snowmen that other people had made, and have fun destroying them as we found them.
That's rude.
But one day we discovered a strange snowman.
You don't fuck with that
The
snowman.
snowman was as big as an adult, wearing a black cloak, and had deeply carved eyes and mouth. Paul put his hand inside the snowman's mouth and screamed, pulling his hand out quickly. His hand was bleeding. It turned out that there were many blades inside the snowman's mouth. Enraged, Paul shouted, "Whoever dared make me bleed shall bleed too." He started to remove the snowman's cloak.
There's just a bunch of
Then
knives
Paul
inside.
walked back and
He
ran
said, "You
toward
don't
the
get to wear
snowman,
this cloak."
smashing it with a flying kick.
Damn, that was a nice
We
kick.
cheered in delight. But
single
something
kick.
came out of the broken snowman's body.
Is that an organ?
It looked like some sort of heart. We screamed and
That
ran
can't
away.
be good.
Later, the police investigated and found out that it was a goat's heart.
Oh, yeah, maybe we'll listen to that at the end.
However, they couldn't figure out who had put it there. That night before bed, I felt an inexplicable sense of fear.
Yeah, you got cursed, my
It
guy.
was as if incredibly cold air was entering my room. Even tightly wrapped in a blanket, my body shivered, and I couldn't sleep all night. Since that day, I've been tormented by the feeling that the cold air has followed me all day long. Winter break ended, and I went to school and received some shocking news. Paul had died. It turned out that one day, Paul had jumped and tried to deliver a flying kick to another snowman, but slipped and fell backward, breaking his neck and dying.
Oh my god.
George and I were at a loss for words.
Jesus.
We didn't say it, but we both felt a sense of shared terror. Since then, a sinister atmosphere loomed over the village, and all parents sternly warned their children never to smash
You better
snowmen.
not flying kick a snowman. That's what she's saying.
However, after some time, another heavy snowfall occurred, and as usual, a snowman wearing a black cloak was built in the middle of the village the next day. Some foolish children smashed the snowman, and shortly after, a boy in the neighborhood choked to death on a candy. He was one of the children who had smashed the snowman. After that, the parents in the village never allowed their children to go
No more
outside on
snowman.
snowy days and locked their doors tightly. Thus, no one walked around the streets on snowy days. Nevertheless, the day after heavy snowfall, the
That
snowman
snowman's
with the
always
black
there.
cloak would always appear in the middle of the street,
It's like I'm trying to kill a
but
kid.
no one dared to touch it.
That fucking snowman, fuck you.
As time went by, the snowman no longer appeared in the village, and fortunately, no more tragedies occurred. However, since then, mentioning the snowman in the village has been strictly forbidden.
We don't talk about them.
To this day, it remains unsolved who made that snowman and what it was.
Someone should put up a camera.
It's still an unresolved mystery.
Looks like he got Oreos for eyes. What a jerk, though. Not cool. Well, coconuts. What'd y'all think? Oh wait, I gotta play it too. What'd y'all think of the snowman? The snowman. Yeah, I didn't see that coming. 2.7. All right, all right. I'm gonna give it a 3 just to bump it up. Maybe a 3.3 to bring it to the average of 3. Who's the jerk? Yeah, that's a good point. Twinkle's trying to get into that window. She's gonna sit with the picture of the spooky cat. It was a pretty good one, yeah. It was. I think it was better than many of them, I think. Yeah, technically both of them are kind of jerks. So we'll give it that. All right, we got The Funeral. This is another one by a different company. It's called Stranger Stories. This art style looks way, way cooler. Like, I like it in the, like, I like whenever people take, like, the black paper and then draw on it with the white. I think that looks good. Let's see if it's actually good.
Strange story. Subscribe and hit the bell. Sit back and get comfortable.
This is extra spooky.
I have a few stories to share with you.
A few. Uh-oh, we gotta read the disclaimer. Hold on. This is an important part of the experience. I can tell. Oh, where did it go? Oh, what the hell? Hold on. I skipped past it. Oh, wait, no, I skipped forward? Okay, no, yeah, okay. Okay, where'd it go? It is right here.
Still there.
God damn it. They don't want us to read it, I guess. I am absolutely committed to finding it, though.
This isn't.
Just click back.
Never miss another strange story.
Okay, there we go. That took a long time. That took longer than it should have. The following video is created for entertainment purposes only. It is meant to be creepy, strange, and at times scary. If this is not what you came for, please do not continue watching. All the visuals and audio are copyrighted. I'm not re-uploading it, just to be clear. We're making commentary. It's fair use. All right. Oh, and you can buy their merch. The Funeral. Stranger Stories.
I can't really remember my dad, but I remember his funeral.
Oh,
my mom cried a lot. I can't even bear to hear my mom cry. I shuffled and struck and sobbed throughout. Why did it have to take place on a Saturday? I was missing my favorite cartoons.
Oh, come on, man.
And my baby sister, Millie, wouldn't stop wailing all the way through. Real sharp shrieks, stabbing like an ice pick into our ears. My Uncle Mike read a dumb poem, or at least he tried to. It was called He's Not Dead, but Sleepy. He kept losing it, and clung to the podium like it was the rigging of the Titanic.
Yeah.
He sank of scotch, too. That same phrase, he's not dead, but sleepy, was carved ornately onto my dad's black marble gravestone, too. My mom had held my hand too tightly. She told me never to forget that my daddy had been very tired recently. And was
no, he's dead. That's why I'm like, this is bad taste, I feel like.
See this as a blessing relief. She made it sound real convincing, like a good mom should. Then she hugged me so tight I could barely breathe. The priest read another sermon, his eyes aligned with kindness. Then my mom tried to say a few words, but couldn't really. Millie was passed back and forth until Mandy handed her to me. Here, she said, you're always good at calming her down. Then Mandy went to steady my mom, whose legs were shaking. The service ended, shots were down, sandwiches were nibbled. I was a good boy and didn't pester anyone. I hoped this will all be over soon. Millie was very heavy in my small arms, and I was glad when my mom finally took her back from me. Then everything was suddenly in utter confusion.
This funeral is a
Voices
chaos.
calling all around, bodies pushing forward. Someone shook me hard, their fingers gripping like claws onto my shoulders.
Was he actually not dead?
Hey, it's okay, I said. Millie was just tired, so I made her go to sleep.
Is this something bad? Did he actually... Oh my god, no! Dude! The fuck? I guess the foreshadowing of the kid being kinda, just not even giving a fuck about anything. I guess it was, yeah. Ugh. That's no good.
A 2011 NIH-funded experiment
Yeah, he unalived it, yeah. That's not good.
involving rats has now changed everything we know
Okay,
about
that,
imaging.
yeah, I don't know.
By using
We're gonna avoid stories by that company anymore. That wasn't worth it. And the art style didn't stay the same as the beginning. I would have liked it more if it stayed at the beginning. That escalated quickly. I know, yeah. They just relied on the he's not sleeping, or what is it? He's not dead, he's just sleeping. Eek. I'm gonna give that a 1 just cause fuck that. That wasn't okay. Yeah. The mortuary room.
This isn't really a story of mine, but
This
I
better
heard
be
it since
spooky, I
I was
swear
a
to God.
child. And ever since then, I was kind of
Yeah,
scared
I
about
guess.
hospitals. There was an inspector who inspects every room of the hospital, just to see if any visitors are still there. It was 1 a.m., and the hospital was 5 stories high. The man was currently on the 3rd floor. The man walked past the mortuary room. You know, the room where dead bodies are kept until they are buried or cremated. Anyway, the man walked past the mortuary room. Then, suddenly, he heard something that sounded like a rusty metal door was being pulled on the floor. Of course, as his job was to check the rooms, he quickly turned the knob and checked the inside. He flashed his flashlight in every
I
corner.
quit. Quit the job.
And he saw an open box where a body should be. He walked toward it to check on it. And there was no body inside.
That's not good.
And no person inside the room with him. He thought it was his imagination. Maybe someone had left it open. He shoved it back in and headed out. He headed straight for the elevator and pressed the 1st floor button. When the door was closing, he heard something. Hey, wait! I need to get on too! It was a girl wearing a hospital gown.
Nope.
She had a cute face and long hair. The man was confused because it was past midnight, but still opened the door for her.
Nope.
Thanks.
Absolutely
the little girl
not.
said. The man smiled back.
How would he not
Then
have
the
made
girl
that
pressed for the
connection?
2nd floor. The man asked why she was up this late. The girl said because she just wanted to grab her stuff from her friend's room since she forgot it earlier while visiting. But before the man said anything, the elevator suddenly went up instead of going down, going up to the 4th floor. The man pressed for the 1st floor again, and thankfully it went down. But the door opened at the 3rd floor. The man heard something in the distance. It was a man running towards the elevator at full speed.
That would scare the fuck out of me.
The man quickly pressed aggressively on the elevator, commanding it to close the doors. The man was only 6 feet away before the door closed. The man sighed and leaned his back on the wall. The girl was confused and said, "Why didn't you let him in?" The man answered, still covered in sweat. "Because that man had a red tag on his wrist. Those things are only meant for the ones who are dead already."
That was
The
a dead
little
one.
girl's eyes widened and smiled.
She said, "Oh well, I have one of those."
The man was shocked when the little girl slowly pulled her
Yeah.
sleeves up to her elbow,
She's like, "Oh,
revealing a red tag on her wrist.
you did."
It said, "Like this one?"
That was pretty
That's
good.
the end of the story. And to this
We
day,
got
it's
that
still
part.
haunts me,
You
just
did.
remembering that.
That would be scary as fuck. Elevators are scary. Like, why you run like that? Yeah, that was good. That was the best one, I think. I'm gonna give that a 5 just because the rest of them have been bad. I gotta give Twinkle treats or else he's gonna keep annoying me. And I'm very, sound is like my top, like overstimulating kind of thing. So I need to do this or else she's gonna absolutely drive me up a wall. BRB. All right. 4.5. All right, fair enough. Yeah, I could. Yeah, you know, I'll probably change mine to 4.5 too. It could have been like scarier, but it isn't. I mean, it's an animation. You know, it's like how scary can it really be? Oh, thanks. Yeah, Twinkle is just, she's cute, but she needs to fucking chill. That's all I'm gonna say about that. This is the same one? Yes. Okay. Next up, what do we got? We got Night Shift Stories. This is gonna be another night shift story. I think because that one counts too, right? So I guess I was just in the vibe with that when I clicked on these last couple. I wonder how many there will be. Looks like in total. Okay, so they're gonna be really short. Night shift stories, Llama Arts.
It's called in to do the night shift, 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. at 7-Eleven, since somebody called out. The store was located on a busy road in a rather quiet and rural area. During the night shift, you could expect anywhere from 10 to 20 people come in to buy a beer or something else. This one particular night, there was this one guy, mid-20s, that came in. He started making weird noises.
He looks like Edward Scissorhands.
I assumed he had some kind of mental disability. In fact, my brother has a mental disability, so I
But he straight up was drawn like Edward Scissorhands. Like, that's what he looks like.
He walked up to the counter without any items, with his head facing me, but his eyes were looking up at the ceiling.
Doesn't he?
I felt uncomfortable. I honestly didn't know how to deal with it. I tried speaking with him, but he only responded in loud noises. I kept checking if he was with someone outside, but he was alone. There weren't any cars in the parking lot, so I assumed he walked. He stood there for so long, looking up at the ceiling and making noises, that I tried to get him out by handing him a bag of chips and telling him he could go. I tried finding some kind of number to call for someone to help him. Then, out of nowhere, he finally turned around and walked out of the store. I felt so horrible for the man.
Cheese chips. That's what was the logo? Something about cheese levels.
The phone on the counter rang. I picked up to hear the familiar yelling sounds of the man from earlier. It caught me off guard. I didn't know what to think, other than this has to be some kind of prank. I hung up on them and was now becoming paranoid of my surroundings, constantly checking the outside through the windows.
Yeah, that would be
Come
scary.
4 o'clock, the person working after me came in, finally allowing for me to go home. It wasn't my problem anymore. I got home and threw all my stuff on the table, ready to get to sleep. But my phone rang within a minute after entering the door.
Nope.
I felt a chill run down my spine. Why would someone be calling at 4 a.m.? I could only imagine
Me,
it
I'm
was
the
bad
dead
news.
guy.
I braced myself and picked up the phone to hear the man again.
That would be scary as fuck.
I felt sick to my stomach as I listened to the loud noises he made. I struggled to slam the phone to the receiver. All night, I felt like I was being watched, even with all the blinds shut. And I could swear I heard strange noises coming from all over my house. I refused to get any sleep until the sun came up.
Top. We're watching spooky
Weeks passed,
stories.
and I had forgotten about the incident, until one day, when going into the basement for the first time in a while, I found that papers had been scattered all over the floor. And when I went into the basement closet, I found writing on the walls.
Oh, God.
7-Eleven had been written in Sharpie on the wall, along with the address to the 7-Eleven I worked at and my house address. The most disturbing part, I also found various kitchen knives, along with a large pocket knife sitting in the closet. What started out as seemingly just an innocent person turning into something of a prank ultimately turned into something much more horrifying. He had been living down there for God knows how long, and I'm just grateful that, for whatever reason, he changed his mind and left, because I haven't seen or heard from him since. All I can say is that man is dangerously ill.
I miss what the cheesy chips logo was again. That was spooky though. I actually got chills. I can't tell if it's
What if
because
you
I'm
could do
cold
as-
or because it was actually spooky. What did you all think? I like this part of my body actually got cold. I'd give that like a 4. I think that was pretty spooky. Yeah, 3.8. Yeah. I think that was pretty spooky. 4.8. All right, I'm gonna give it a regular old 4. All right, we got Haunted Music Room. Wait, wasn't there supposed to be other ones? Did I close that too soon? Or is that just the one? Yeah, you know what, there's... Wait. No, this
It was
is...
2 years ago.
They made it sound like
I
there
was
was going to be
called in to do
multiple,
the
but there
night
wasn't. All right, we got Haunted Music Room.
When I was in 12th grade, I joined an a cappella competition.
I don't know.
With
Yeah,
six
that's a
of my
good point.
friends, 3
Oh, the
girls
scale
and
is
5
oh,
boys.
okay, hold on. Let me stop this and I'll
It was
explain. So
4:30.
5 is best, 1 is worst. The first, yeah, the end was kind of just like, okay. I mean, we already saw that exact kind of idea playing out in like an earlier one tonight too, so that made it a little bit less like good. Yeah, that's a good point though. I don't know how they got away with the 7-Eleven logo. Maybe 7-Eleven, like 7-Eleven maybe sponsored them. Or like I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how that kind of stuff works, to be honest. They like bought the rights.
When I was in 12th grade, I
Haunted
joined
music
an a
room.
cappella competition with 6 of my friends, 3 girls and 5 boys. It was 4:30 in the afternoon, and our mentor decided that we should go to the music room to practice our vocals since the competition would be the next day. We had been studying in that school for almost 2 years, but we had never entered that room before. As we entered the room, the first thing I noticed was the piano located near the door. It was quite old, as were the other guitars stored in the corner of the room.
Andy, stop staring at the piano. It's an old piano. You won't be able to play it.
He went to the piano and pressed the keys to prove that it wasn't making any sound.
Oh.
I just nodded at him and followed his orders during practice. We all blended so well, following his instructions. An hour later, there was a beep from his phone.
Guys, there's an emergency. I'll just have to go downstairs for a bit. Wait for me. Don't touch anything.
He said, I'm trapping you in here with the ghosts.
We all nodded, and he left the room. Sitting on the floor, we started chatting about the strategies we would use for the competition. A few minutes later, my friend Eric said something unrelated.
Damn, I need to pee bad.
And ran towards the door, shouting,
Don't leave me!
Before shutting it, we continued chatting, and the conversation became more interesting. I didn't even notice when Eric returned to the room. In the middle of our conversation, we all heard the piano playing. I became annoyed, thinking that one of them was playing it.
Hey, stop it! Sir might kill us!
I scolded. Then we realized that the piano was broken and hadn't made any sound earlier. We looked at the piano, and it was playing on its own. We were all frozen in place, shaking to our core. I stood behind my other friend, trembling, and we all decided to exit through the door. My friend Eric was panicking so badly that he couldn't open the door at first. My other friend, Trina, took over and quickly opened the door. We ran downstairs to tell our mentor what had happened.
I'll leave.
Sir? The piano was playing on its own, I cried. He was in shock and decided to send us home to rest instead of continuing the practice. The next day, we found out that a nun had died in that room, and she was musically inclined. Our mentor joked that she was just trying to help us, but it wasn't a funny experience for us. We hadn't seen a nun playing, but witnessing a piano playing its keys was terrifying.
Her final show. That's true. Maybe she just wanted some friends. Maybe they should have just been cool and listened to the piano. I feel like that would be a situation that would be scary as fuck, but I would also be like, she's just let her cook. Just like, she's actually doing great. Like, maybe she hasn't played in a while. Obviously, we saw that this piano wasn't working. She both fixed it and is fucking brilliant. Like, let's just give her a sec. I'm gonna give that like a 1 though. I wasn't scared at all. 2 creepy sister horror stories. This is a micro genre of horror shorts. Creepy sister. There's 2 of them. 1, yes, yes. Yeah, I was not impressed. Hopefully these 2 true, oh, they're true. 2 true creepy sister stories. Well, then we have to be scared. It had potential, yes, yes, yes. Nun stuff is scary. It can be, at least. Like that one movie.
My mom always wanted a daughter. When she gave birth to me, my father told me that she didn't look that happy at all.
Oh my god,
She
that
kept
sucks.
trying and trying to get pregnant again, but it never worked. When I was 2, she stopped trying and adopted a girl instead.
That kid was
She named
cute,
her
though.
Ivy. Ivy was just a year older than
We
me,
love the little
so she was
space
3 years
bugs.
old. And for a month, everything was okay, and my mom was satisfied, until some strange things started happening. My father told me that at night she would hold the knife while standing in front of my door. He thought that she was sleepwalking and probably had some childhood trauma.
You gotta
causing
block
those
those
kinds
knives
of
up
dreams,
better.
so he brushed it off.
What?
Eventually, she stopped doing it after a few months, and we all forgot
After
about
a few months?
it. When she turned 8, things started to happen again. She would talk to herself in the morning and get very aggressive. I tried to tell my mom several times, but she said it was normal. I was terrified of my sister.
Bro!
One night at 2 a.m., she screamed in a terrifying pitch. My parents rushed to her room and her eyes were bloodshot, and she was scratching her arm aggressively. On the following morning, my mom called the doctor about her behavior, and they took her away. On my 10th birthday, my sister returned and looked normal. Surprise, my mom said whilst holding her hand. Honestly, I felt happy that I could see her again. We played games and had fun until it was time for me to sleep.
Until
I
it was
randomly
time for
woke
me to
up to
sleep.
see my sister next to my bed. She was holding a knife, tearing into my arm. Her eyes were wide open, and she had a
Dude.
blood-curdling smile that will never leave my head. I
Fair
passed
enough.
out. I woke up in a hospital bed and saw my mom crying next to me.
Dude, how did they
Suddenly,
not?
I
There's just
remembered
gotta be a
Maggie,
way for them
and
to
asked
lock up
my
those
mom where
knives
she
better,
was,
right?
And all she said was, "She's gone."
I am a 14-year-old who
Okay, hold on.
experienced
We gotta
something
rate that
really
first one.
scary.
They didn't even give us a second to, like, think about it. They were just like, alright, number 2. What did you all think? They should have figured out a way to lock up the knives. Like, they just left the knives like, well, it's only been months. Like, we're going to leave the knives out. She's not going to do it again. But she aged years. Yeah, maybe 3, yeah. I think 3 makes sense. That would be, if that actually happened to you though, that would be scary as absolute fuck. I would give it a 4 for that. Let's see if number 2 will be creepy. I mean, like I said, it's supposed to be true. That gives it an extra edge, as most things that claim that they're true do. Let's see if this
I am
one
a
compare.
14-year-old who experienced something really scary. My sister started acting strange around my birthday. When I was a kid, she used to pull a lot of pranks on me,
That's not a
like
prank,
push me
that's
down the
abuse,
stairs
gross.
and cut my hair. So I asked her one day, why did she continue to pull pranks on me? And she told me that she was just playing. So when I was about to go tell her mom, she grabbed my hand and had a big sinister look on her face, which really startled me. She said, "You don't have to tell," and she
Yeah, we
skipped
don't
away.
like it. We don't
The
like
next
it.
day, I woke up with her standing over me, just staring at me, which really had me shook.
Absolutely
So I
not.
slapped her to snap her out of it. She just turned her head again and stared again at me with that sinister smile as I froze.
Nope.
I tried to scream out
That's
to my
some
mom
possession shit.
as I was hearing footsteps. She opened my door, and I looked very pale, and she asked me what I was looking at, and I said, "Sis." My mom responded, "What do you mean?
Oh,
She died
God.
3 years ago."
What? That actually scared me. I'm not like it wasn't like an abrupt fright, but I was frightened. The fear, I felt it. No blocking door from now on. Yeah, that was actually good. That was good, especially for like I feel like it takes a lot. Like the end part where she kind of like faded away. Did it like yeah, it took away that 0.3. Where now it's just a 4.7, but it was good. That was one of the better ones for sure. I know it was creepy with the W. Yeah, that was creepy. We didn't like that, but we did. We didn't like it because we did. I only bring the gems in my to watch later horror short collection. Oh, you missed the fade. Okay, good. Then yeah, I would give it a 5 if I were you then. Next up, we got Break-In.
Hello. I'm going to tell you a story that happened to me in the 9th grade. I'm in the 10th grade right now, but I still remember this like it was
Just a bunch of kiddos being
I was
frightened.
walking home from school on a Friday around 2:50 or 3 o'clock. It seemed like a normal day, and not too much was happening. I got home and locked the door behind me and went to my room. Went to the kitchen and grabbed me an orange before I went upstairs to study. I went upstairs to study for a while, and then watched some TV. My parents weren't home because of a business trip that will last a week, and they've been gone for 2 days. My neighbors would check on me here and there, but not too often.
They
It was
look like
getting
who's
late
from
around
Whoville.
9:30 p.m. I called my friend Travis to come and chill with me. He came about 9:50 with some snacks like Takis, Dr. Pepper, and donuts. After an hour of watching TV, we talked about sports, etc.
Genix
Travis got
kid.
to use the bathroom and yelled my name from the bathroom. I went to come check on him to see why he was yelling.
Yeah, Takis are
And then I
gonna
saw there was a
suck.
pile of poop laying on the floor.
Oh my god.
A surge of rage went down my
The
body.
fuck, man?
Who the hell could have done this? Because I was the only one home, and I don't own any pets. After a minute of
That would
deep
suck.
thinking, I started to get scared. I wondered, what if someone else did this that wasn't supposed to
They
be
just
here?
with their bucket of shit.
After 5 minutes, we cleaned the poop up and went outside to throw it away. On my way to take the trash out,
That
I
would
saw
suck.
that the gate to the backyard was open. And then it hit me.
You trying to eat some
I ran in
Takis
the
and
house to
donuts.
get Travis to find out he wasn't in there anymore. I started to freak out in my head, but I tried my hardest not to show it. I looked all around to find my parents' door was wide open. I walked in there, and the window was wide open. I walked slowly and looked out the window to see that there was an opening that led to the forest. I went in and grabbed my dad's baseball bat and a flashlight and ran outside.
Yes.
I saw there were tracks in the dirt. I followed them, praying that Travis was okay.
Oh
It
yeah,
was
the
about
front.
10 minutes of
I
running.
forgot. I was like, what are you
Then
doing?
I
What are you
saw a
doing in there?
tent and a little outhouse too. I saw a shadow of a person and prayed it was Travis. As I went and opened it, I heard the outhouse door open. And to my surprise, I saw a tall, dirty man step out. As soon as I saw him, I instantly charged at him and started swinging
You don't know
my
if
bat.
it was him.
I'm a fairly built teen who plays a lot of sports, so this wasn't hard. I hit him one good time in the middle of his face.
You don't know if he
He
did
dropped
it.
down fast with a bloody nose.
I'm calling somebody that's not a cop to put this person
I had a pocket strapped on my
somewhere.
shorts and got him free.
Just kidding.
He didn't even
Make
say a word. He
Even
just got
even
up
the
and we
equivalent.
both ran back home as fast as we could.
This kid shouldn't have done
When
that
we got
though.
home, I instantly tried to call the cops.
We don't know if it was him.
The cops came in about 10 minutes and went looking in the
Oh, God.
forest. After 30 minutes, the police found the man talking to himself, hitting his head on a tree. When they
Okay,
came
but you
back,
just hit him with
the
a whole
police said
baseball
Boris
bat.
said he was a nutcase, wandering, harassing people, forcing them to live with them. He was insane and needed immediate help. I hope that he can get the help that he needs, so he doesn't do anything that deranged.
But you hit him with a fucking baseball bat, bro. Oh no. Exactly, yeah. Okay, like, and then the fact that he called the cops afterward.
Don't miss
So,
out on spoiler quiz.
and said, I beat up a stranger because I was scared. I am a cop. Exactly, like maybe call like the equivalent, not even a social worker, because social workers like don't do good. I mean, they can to an extent, but really they oftentimes cause more harm than good. There's got to be some equivalent of some sort of actual useful, like community-based help that could have been given to that man that wasn't a baseball bat or a cop. Like, you can't tell me that was the only option available. Yeah, that sucked. That was no good. That gets a -1, at least. The sound from my backyard. There's been multiple instances in these videos where there's just like anti-houseless stuff happening. Like that's at least the third, isn't it? Something like that. It's happening too much. That's all I know.
There was a time my parents went on a trip to Europe. I was taking care of their house. I was
12,
home
yeah.
from school anyway, so it was fine. I had been there for a few weeks. And
It gets a
was pretty
-13,
quiet.
12.
I just went to work. Came
Yeah,
home,
exactly. Yeah, anything
had
with
some
cop
time
calling
with
is a
my
negative
family,
rating.
in the house to ourselves and whatnot. But one night, I was just laying there watching TV when I heard this really weird, low whistling sound coming from the window that was behind the couch. It struck me as sort of odd, and I just shrugged it off. But then it happened again. It totally sounded like it was a person standing up against the window whistling.
That would be scary.
I looked out the window and obviously there was no one there. So I figured I should go check it out. If it was something like the wind or the siding, I should probably fix it.
Why does nobody have
That
blinds?
was getting annoying. So I walked out to the backyard. The backyard of my parents' house is really, really pretty. It's sparse, but sort of forest that leads to a road on the other side. So
He's like, not to brag, it's a paradise. Brag though.
But then I heard the sound again.
Yeah, you better
It
get
was
out of there.
coming from the woods in the back. I was pretty creeped out at this point, and of course I couldn't see anything in the woods. So I hurried back through the door and I locked it behind me.
Yeah, it's for
I
sure
never really
Appalachia.
heard the sound again for the next few days. Until one night, I was asleep in my room, and I could have sworn I was awakened by the listening sound against my second floor window.
Nope.
I listened hard, and it was dead silent. So I decided I should go ahead and look out the window. I did that whole thing where I crept super slowly towards it, and just sort of peeked through it. Outside my window, there was a man just standing there.
No.
I was
Oh
really
god,
sleepy.
that would scare the absolute
I
fuck
can't
out of
know how
me.
much of this I'm misremembering. But he was just sitting there staring at me.
He looked like Jesus
was
Christ
completely
himself, but a
frozen
poorly drawn
and
version.
slowly,
He wearing
the man pursed his
shaggy
lips,
shirt from
and I
Scooby
could hear that
Doo.
whistle again. It was crystal clear. It made me feel like crying.
That would be
I told
scary though.
myself
If that
away
was
from
if
the
they would
window
have
and I
drawn
hid
any
under
other
my covers.
guy,
The
like
next night, I insisted that my friend stay with me.
oh really?
He did. And of course,
Yeah, that's true. Also
he
Ginger.
figured that I was just tired and delirious, and maybe I was right. It gets kind of anticlimactic here, but I didn't hear it for another week or so. And when I did, it was just one small whistle, just happening randomly, coming from a wall or something like that.
That's no good.
It just happens every week or so. It always freaks me out
Oh
tremendously.
yes, the weekly whistle.
To this day, I would never stay in that house alone anymore.
It's Jesus. Yeah, it was interesting. I mean, that would be scary as fuck. If that actually happened, that would be scary as fuck. What do you all think? I'd give it like okay, so just on face value, I'll give it like a 3 just because the drawing took it away from me. But if it actually if that shit was happening, that would be a straight up 12. That would be scary as shit. 3.5, 2.7. I like that our judging is so there's usually an average that can be drawn. There's never even once been a case where there's been a stark difference thus far. All right, the sound from my wait, that was the one we just watched. The True Morgue. Wait, didn't we already watch that? Or was it called something else? I forget if this might be, maybe I doubled it up on accident. No, this is a different one. 3.5. This is by a different company altogether also. MJV. True, and it's real. It's true.
This was a really weird but scary experience for me. I worked at a morgue a few years back. I'd also like to mention that this was the last time I smoked weed. Just throwing that in there. Anyway, on my way to work, one day I smoked a blunt. I bought the weed from some random guy, not my usual person.
Uh-oh.
Anyways, this was actually my first day out of training, and they trusted me to be by myself. It was around 2 p.m. when I got to work, and everything started off normal. I hated the smell of that place, though. We had a good amount of bodies stacked up there, and I was working in one. I turned around for a few seconds while looking for a tool, and I heard a moan from behind me.
Nope.
I paused for a second and remembered that some bodies still have air.
Yeah, they let out
The
air.
continues to come out.
Did you all know
and the
that?
bodies would still make noises and sometimes move. I gathered myself. turned
Yeah, I
around,
know, it's not
and
a
I
bad
laying on the
choice.
table.
You don't smoke rando weed on the way to the morgue.
I paused once again and told myself that this is normal. At this point, it's starting to get dark outside.
Oh.
It starts raining by coincidence.
I know this
This
sounds
is
like a
real life
cliche word
mortuary
for it,
assistant.
but it really did happen. My anxiety was an all-time high, so I took a break.
I mean, he
I
would
had
be
the
high
nerve, so I
still,
decided to snag a bag of
depending.
chips.
But it was
Then I
rando
heard
weed, so
something
you
in the
never know.
hallway. I couldn't tell what it was. At this time, I had
It's
distress.
PCP, that's what it was.
I was high, but I was also really hungry. I got up to see what that was in the hallway. Then I heard something. It stopped me in my tracks before I reached the door. I
Live
stopped and
access
thought,
removed.
I'm here by myself.
Sorry,
I got
TikTok.
the courage to walk into the hallway. When I turned the corner, I saw one of the bodies standing at the end of the hallway.
Alcohol, tobacco, and drugs.
I froze and I just stood there.
That's
This felt like a
ridiculous.
scary movie, but at this point I would be yelling for the person to run, but I couldn't move.
Well,
I thought to myself, am I tripping right now? The body started walking toward me and I backed up. I rubbed my eyes for a few seconds, then I looked back down the hallway and the guy was gone. Again, I stood there for a few more seconds. Out of nowhere, every door in the building opened with force, and at the same time,
that would be scary as
that
fuck.
laughed again. I ran out of there so fast and called my boss. He laughed at me and came in while I sat in the car. He checked the building and everything seemed normal. I quit right there on the spot.
He quit.
I
Good.
don't know. Maybe I was blazed, but the fear I felt was real.
Dude,
I know I
no.
haven't smoked since then.
But maybe.
I get work with dead bodies.
I like that that's the cartoon they're using to, like, indicate that it was a whole demon. Anyway, it's 9, and now that I gotta try to figure out what's going on. It's dumb that that would be something that TikTok would actually take it down for. Like, it was a story. Like, I've seen people say and do way worse shit on TikTok in comparison to a single, not even me saying it, person mentioning weed on a live. Like, that's goofy. So I gotta figure that out, but it is what it is. Thanks for hanging out. Anyone that stopped by, and Ed, who I know you're probably still here, if anything. The spooks were okay. I can't decide if I like the whole horror story angle or not. Do you think that it was better or worse than the short horror films? I can't tell. I can't tell if it's just because I haven't found good ones or what. I know, I think they're fun. I think I gotta find, like, a different company. I gotta mix it up more, because I keep finding, like, a million, just because it's like, when you type them in, it just seems like nowadays, everything's just so monopolized. Like, it's all just, like, the same people. I don't know why that's happened. It is what it is. It's kind of nice, though, I guess, to have, like, the cultural variety at the same time. Because a lot of it is probably got, like, a lot of backstory behind it to, like... I mean, there was a lot that it seemed like I felt like I needed to know more. And in that sense, it's good. You know? But yeah, thanks for hanging out. Maybe someone that got kicked off of TikTok eventually will watch the Twitch and see that that's what happened. What can you do? But yeah, thanks for hanging out. I'll see y'all soon, probably sometime in the next couple days. What do we got? Tomorrow, since I took a little break from yesterday, I'm probably just gonna do the regular, like, just chatting and just hang out. Maybe read some poetry then, too, since we didn't yesterday. But again, thanks for hanging out. I'll see y'all around. We all deserve better. Drink water. Have a little snack. Get some rest.